At halftime, I thought we had really lost our chance, or our best chance to win the game. We made 4 turnovers when we're going on a fast break, and they scored, and 2 of them, Rock got 2 fouls. And, we're going down to score, and they end up scoring, and Rock gets 2 fouls. To me, I thought that was just crucial. Our defense was good all night. We did a good job defensively, finding their shooters. They're a really good offensive team. They're, one of the best offensive teams in the country. And I think the real problem was we gave them points off turnovers that really hurt us, and the foul situation hurt us with Rock getting fouls there. We just made some mistakes, but as we made them, we just kept battling. We kept fighting. And in the end, we just wanted to use as much of the clock as we could and then, get the ball to Mike or Trevor. Trevor made a really hard 3, which he has done before. And then the last 2 was a pretty hard one as well. But BJ went to the line and, made the free throws when he had to. The first 1-and-1 was huge. And then he got to the basket and finished that one in 4-point play. BJ was terrific tonight. He's getting some space. They're worried about Rock so much that guy's going to get a few shots, and he knocked him down. He started to knock him down at Boston College, and then last game, and now tonight. And he was a huge difference in the game. But it was a tremendous win for us. They're a very, very good offensive team, and we did a good job with our defense tonight. Questions?
You said you're not surprised your team will compete at a high level despite the postseason not being there. What has to be in a group to maintain that high level without that?
Well, I think that I've said many times, and what I believe, if you play basketball or any sport, and you're in the summertime, and you go down to the park, there's no tournament. It's, are you going to play as hard as you possibly can, or you want to get embarrassed? And if you're an athlete, you go down there and play as hard as you can. So why wouldn't you go out here on national television and play in a great team, and you're not going to compete? I mean, it makes no sense to me to even to talk about it, because it's just not something that anybody's going to do that's in our program, or I think any program. They all want to win. They all want to be good. There's 300 teams that aren't going to a tournament this year, and their last 3 or 4 games, they know that, and I hope that those teams are playing hard. I know last year Boston College came into Syracuse, and they had a 15 or 18 record or whatever, and we were number 1 in the country, I believe, at the time, and they beat us. They weren't going anywhere. So I don't think there's any way, shape, or form that anybody that plays athletics at any level is not going to go out there and play. And, we're going to fight. We don't play well all the time. We make some horrendous mistakes tonight. We fouled a 3-point shooter twice. You'd like to think you learned that the first time. We just made some really bad decisions, and Mike's been playing great all year. He made 2 or 3 bad decisions in the first half. I don't know what he was going through or thinking about, but we overcame all that because we kept fighting, and I thought Rock did a good job. He had his worst game. I mean, he missed some shots he's made almost all year long, but he kept battling in there, kept hanging in there, and we were very fortunate. I wanted to leave him in the game. I just felt if we took him out with 13 minutes to go, we'd get behind, and we wouldn't be able to come back, putting him back in. So we were going to go with him, and he did a good job. I didn't think he fouled anybody, but that's the way it goes. They call it.
Jim, to beat a top 10 team on the road with Rakeem only playing 28 minutes, what went into that? Was that Chino or the other guys doing stuff that?
No, I just think our defense overall was pretty good tonight. We didn't get them comfortable, and they missed threes. Look, Notre Dame makes threes. That's how they win. If they shoot 3 for 22, you should beat them. We should have played a little better. We didn't make shots either. We missed layups and a lot of things. We started out the game missing 2 layups. Right off the bat, Tyler missed the layup, Rock got the rebound, missed the layup, and then goaltended it. So, we missed a lot of opportunities. But when Notre Dame shoots 3 for 22, and some of it, I hope, is we're guarding them a little bit and trying to get them off their spots. they've always had great shooting teams. This is nothing new. I think I've come out here 6, 7 times when they've had teams shooting 40% from the three-point line. But we did a good job tonight there. That was the one area that I thought we did a good job of not letting them get comfortable. We let Connaughton get open a couple times, and he made them both, But they missed some for us, and that happens. That happens.
How proud are you personally to see Rock get the 1,000 points of his?
He's had a great year. He's playing great. His contributions are just huge. He changes shots. He rebounds. He takes a beating in there every night. He's just having a great year. We don't have anybody to replace him. When we lost Chris early in the year, it just hurt us as far as getting him some help and getting him somebody at the big forward spot that could help him rebound. And we're small, but Notre Dame is not big either, so that that helps us. Notre Dame North Carolina just overpowered us inside. Sometimes it's matchups. North Carolina just went inside and just killed us inside. So sometimes it's matchups. But this team's played well. We played well against Duke and Carolina and Pittsburgh. We played well in all those games. All the games we've lost, we've been right there. We had an excellent, really good chance to win. And I think it's just because they battled hard and just keep going after it.
Jim, for about 36 minutes, it looked like Trevor's back might be bothering him.
He said it was better tonight a little bit. And now he says it feels good.
Given all the Trevor criticism that you've had to counter in the past couple of weeks, what does it say about him to persevere in those final four?
Well, first of all, I don't listen to that, so I don't know what that's all about. But it's funny that I think somebody on the show said we should play Trevor less and play somebody else, and I asked the guy. He's our second best three-point shooter percentage-wise. He's leading the league in three-point field goals. So I should take him out and play a guy that's shooting 16%. Is that your solution to this? It's easy to say take Trevor Cooney out as long as you don't have to make a decision as to who's going to go in. And I don't think it's good basketball to put a 16% shooter in there who also has other liabilities besides that. And especially when you consider that because Trevor's in the game, there's a guy guarding him wherever he is. That's why we can get the ball to Rock. That's why Mike can get that driving lane. When Trevor's out, they play off two guys. They play off Ronnie and they play off Tyler. So by going with BJ and Trevor, we open it up for the drives, and we also open it up a little bit for Rock to get something. And when they do come off BJ or Trevor, they can make that shot. And but Trevor Cooney has to play. If he's in, it's also, as a coach, the player says he can play, the doctor says he can play. So if you watch him and he goes 0 for 5, right? So then somebody's going to say, well, why he didn't look good, right? Well, he didn't look good tonight either. But luckily the coach kept him in there because he won the game. So I'm going to keep Trevor Cooney in the game unless he tells me he can't play or the doctor tells me he can't play, because he'll make big plays. He's been making it big plays since he's been here, and he plays good against Notre Dame too, so that's a good thing. But, if we had an alternative, then I think there's an argument. We don't have an alternative. I can play Caleb and Ronnie, and one shooting 16 and one shooting 20. So, to me, that's not a call I'm going to make.
And for BJ to be scoreless in the first 8 ACC games, how's he been able to grow so much over the last 7?
I don't know. He is a young kid. He's 18 years old. He turned, and he was 17 when he came to Syracuse, just turned 19 this year as a sophomore. He's young. He was not shooting it very well in practice. He did start shooting it better in practice, but then he played a couple games and didn't shoot well. But then it looked like he was getting better. In Boston College, it was good. And then, obviously, Pittsburgh, he kept us in the game, gave us an opportunity to win it. And then tonight he won this game. You could easily say that with the way he played. And, he's a very good shooter. Demetrius Nichols shot about 18% from the three when he was a sophomore. When he was a senior, he shot 38%. Maybe it just takes some guys more time. I don't know the answer to that.
Coach Chino paid 12 minutes for you. He might not have done a lot, but he didn't hurt you either.
No, he didn't hurt us. Set some good screens. He stayed in the middle. He ended up, at the end there. He knows what he's doing. He got 3 rebounds. If he can do that, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.